Okay, welcome back everyone, East Providence, Rhode Island, for the champions interview of the Better Bowling Concept Senior Open. My good friend Chris Monroy, number 7.
Yes, thank you very much.
Congratulations, buddy. Awesome.
Thank you.
All day, you were the best bowler in the building from game 1.
Thank you. I'm
still
breathing heavy here.
Looking at the scores, I mean, they were not easy when they were fresh, and you whacked them right out of the gate. 250, 240. You were leading basically from. Well, you were second after the first game, and then you led the rest of the way and dominated through match play. How did you do it?
Excuse me.
I'll let you tell me.
Well, what had happened was I had 3 balls that were in play during warm-up. I had a purple reactive, a Widow Ghost, and a Track Stealth. Excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat right now. The purple reactive was a little too early if I got on a little too heavy with my hand, and either picked up and died or went sideways. The Ghost and the Stealth were very close. The only thing that made me go with the Stealth is that it's a symmetrical ball. Even though we're bowling on a longer pattern, I wanted a symmetrical ball because of the lower volume. I figured that would give me a little bit more flexibility with my hand, and it actually ended up opening up the lane. I literally had the world. I mean, there were some shots that I'm not going to lie were very suspect. A couple, especially toward the end of the title match, a couple I got off my hand the wrong way, and the ball made me look awfully good today. So
you bowled pretty good.
Thank you.
Give yourself more credit than that.
Thank you.
I've said this before on other broadcasts. You're too hard on yourself all the time. Even when you win, you earned it. You were number 1 all day from start to finish. We were trying to figure what ball that was. So that was a Track Stealth you were throwing.
Track Stealth, yes.
I knew it was a bleed yellow dot to spares. I figured that part out when I was over there with you before, but I didn't think to look to see what you were throwing for your strike shot.
I had drilled the bleeder yellow dot in honor of my coach who passed away on November 26th last year. I had put up on Facebook that I was looking for some brand new yellow dots at GTB and a black rhino. A couple friends of mine helped me get some yellow dots and a GTB, and that one I drilled, like I said, I started using on November 26th.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And actually what I had done is Mark had given me way back when one of his yellow dots that he used on tour, and it hangs right on my trophy room, and I copied the exact same layout. That's the exact same layout he had in his ball, except with my specs.
That's for those that don't know, he's talking about Mark Roth, obviously, but maybe people don't know that you were very close to him, and his passing was very hard on all of us, but you especially. I'm glad to say I had the pleasure of meeting him when he came here to bowl.
2007.
Also, those that don't know, he bowled 1 NEBA, won it. But
Brockton.
Brockton. Ray DeSanto was running the pro shops in Brockton and Boston Bowl at that time, and Ray was very good friends with Mark from when he was on the tour, and he set up some exhibition matches. I got to bowl Mark in Boston Bowl.
Sure,
One game, it was fun. It was for nothing, but I never forgot it. And every time I saw him after that, even after he had his stroke, he still came up to me. He remembered me. I bowled 1 game against him. Like, he's met 100,000 people bowling in his days, and every time I saw him after that, he came over to me, shook my hand, he said, "How you doing? Nice to see you." But so
he had a mind unlike any other mind that I ever and that any other person I've ever met, and I mean that in the best of terms. He could remember stuff from way back when. He remembered faces. He remembered people. He remembered dates. I'll just tell you one really quick funny story about what you were saying about the Brockton NEBA. I bowled the Brockton NEBA, and we ended up crossing with each other on the 12:30 squad. So it's 12:27, and all of a sudden I get a page to Ray DeSanto's Pro Shop. Mark had drilled up a brand new, I think it was a Brunswick Fury, and he wanted me to install his thumb hole. Because I was really the only one who he really trusted to install his thumb mold. I remember it was 3 buzzes with a fresh piece of sandpaper, and he wanted, I forgot, but the notch on the mold had to be like 1 or 2 millimeters off center to the little line, and I was the only one who got it right.
And that's the ball
That was the ball that he won with.
Wow.
That was literally 3 minutes before we started the 12:30 squad.
Fantastic.
I never forgot that.
So, that's unbelievable. Wow.
Dead true.
So let's go over your matches real quick, and then we'll let you thank who you want to thank, and we'll maybe run into the meeting quick and see what's going on in there. So obviously you led the tournament, got a bye. Your first match was against Ray Edwards, right?
A very tough competitor.
Always.
National tour champion, multi-time regional champion. So, and I know he's a NEBA champion too.
Now
so
you guys were way off to the side, so I didn't really get to watch much of that match. I mean, we were checking the scores, but I didn't. So after you beat him, you bowled Glenn Smith, right?
Another one who's been on fire. I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's won like 3 or 4 regionals in the last year and a half or so.
Really?
I mean, he's been on fire.
Wow. Okay.
He's been on fire.
I didn't know that. I've never.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen them before. But so let's see. And then that brings you to the title match, obviously with Tim Martin. You guys bowled on a pair that hadn't been bowled on since qualifying. Did you find them much different?
It was different.
Yeah.
And Tim, we both noticed that it played much tighter down lane. The spot to throw to was a little less defined. So what I ended up doing is just moving back a little bit. I ended up loading up my hand just a little bit more. Couple I lost off my hand toward the end. My thumb was starting to shrink in the middle of the match, so I kind of lost them off my hand. But was very fortunate. Oh!
Here comes the hug from the sponsors.
Wow. It's a good thing I go to the gym. Otherwise, that could crush me. But no, all joking aside, I lost a couple off my hand at the end, and the results showed at the end. But I made sure that, as Mark always taught me, how badly do you want it? That's what he always taught me. He said you got to want it more than the next person. And I made sure that when I had a chance to stand up and deliver in the 10th through the strike, when I was fortunate to get the carry when I needed it.
You did. I mean, you could have carried a number of shots that game. We kind of did the math when you were about the 7th frame, and we're like, if he just goes 9 spare out, he's going to win.
Right.
And you went like 10 pin, 10 pin, 7 pin. You
right.
made them all. Obviously, in the 10th, you didn't want to have to shoot anything.
No.
Just strike and get it over with.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got nothing else. If you want to go on a little 2-minute
sure.
soliloquy, and you can say thank whoever you
Certainly.
want. I'm sure I know where you're going to go.
Yeah, no, I mean a number of people. Obviously, my wife and my kids. Thank you always for your support, Mary Elizabeth. To obviously Mark and Denise. I've never won 3 NEBAs in a year. Never in my life. So I mean, it's evidence he's still looking over me. I mean, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm now convinced that he's still looking over me. And to Denise, as always, thank you. To obviously Dave Wadka and the Brands of Brunswick for now this is my 18th season on staff. To D's Providence Lanes, Mike Sodoma, and for picking up the slack, and covering the tournament for us.
I mentioned that multiple times today.
Yes.
I made sure I got it in every round. To thank Mike for, again, if people are just tuning in for the first time today, this tournament was originally scheduled to be in Norwich. We had a cancellation 2 weeks ago, and Mike took us in with open arms. Today's tournament and tomorrow's tournament.
Right. So a huge thank you for that.
Yeah,
huge thank you to all of our NEBA sponsors. I know Storm and all the sponsors have been here for us, the whole year. I mean, the prize funds are what they are because of all the contributions. I know Bruce keeps talking over $60,000 in cash and prizes, which is amazing to be sure. I also want to acknowledge Bowl U, Rick Benoit and Brad Angelo. Again, I said it during the Champions interview with Dennis. They ran a clinic at Chicopee back in August, and it really opened my eyes to lane reading and everything else. So thank you to them. And like I say, I'll just end at that, but just thank you especially to East Providence for picking up the slack. Thank you to all the NEBA sponsors, and again, just personally speaking, to Dave and the Brands of Brunswick, my wife and my kids for all their support, to Mark and Denise, and actually I'll just shout out, and she'll know what this means, to my friend Holly up in Maine. She'll know what this is about and how many times she's, quote unquote, yelled at me on text messages to get my button gear at times. She'll know what she means by that.
Excellent. All right, you got anything else? That's it?
That's it. Let's
Great
go to the
ball,
meeting.
buddy. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we'll see you. There is a squad tonight at 6 if you're in the area, tomorrow at 9 and 12:30. The 32 people from the Paul Flory Memorial, you're still on that?
Yes.
We'll be here. That will be decided tomorrow during match play. So tune in tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be on the air sometime around 4:30 to 5 o'clock. We will go live and you'll get the notification. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you again.